but that one hurt.
It was one of the great calls
Amazing.
of the season. Joel Kane there on SEN League calling that game. It was one of the great games of the season. Both teams were absolutely outstanding, but it was Manly who was so brave to beat the Bulldogs 24-22. And I know how we were feeling, Rat, sitting back watching that, but I'm not sure how this man felt. He joins us. He's also always so giving with his time on Sportsday. Anthony Seibold, coach of Manly, joins us. How are you, Seibs?
Yeah, going well, guys. Good to chat to you guys.
Yeah, no, so tell us, what was going through your mind with about 8 or 9 minutes to go and it's fifth tackle and he goes out to the left and Benny Trbojevic goes, well, I'm not quick enough. Here you go, Tolu.
Yeah.
Mate, it was pretty, it's pretty exciting. Try it, wasn't it? I think we were super excited in the box. It's great to see Tolu, who's a fantastic athlete. Like, he does that sort of summer training quite often, and it was great to see him, and use his athleticism and his speed to score that try. But there's some really great skill inside, Ches and Turbo. But even Ruben Garrick, a lot of times it gets lost. Ruben left kick out on the floor. Reid Marnie wasn't set at marker, so when we did run the footy, we had a sort of disrupted defensive line. So the guys did a great job to nail that one.
My coaching prowess goes as far as my son, who's now 28 at under 15s level. So I was nervous on the sideline when he was playing. But do you take some sense of calm knowing that, when you're that close in a game, that you've got these game breakers and like right across the park, Olakau'atu, Kola, Saab, Trbojevic. Do you take some sort of confidence in the fact that something could come from nothing right now?
Oh, definitely, Rat. I think the longer the game went and the scoreboard didn't get too far away from us, I was actually super confident, I've got to say. The Bulldogs played an outstanding game. They completed really high, had a heap of possession, had a heap of field position, and it felt as though they were really suffocating us, but we just found a way to stay in the game. And as I said, the longer the game went, I just felt that, we were a chance. And we spoke about it. The boys were super positive at half time, I've got to say. We were down by 4, but that had, at some stages there, almost 60% possession. So we were really positive at half time, had a real clear picture in our head. And then we went out and they scored a try pretty early. So it wasn't perfect, but it was a hell of a game. Both sides played with tremendous spirit and, fantastic atmosphere with the crowd there. So, but I just had this feeling that we could pull it off the longer the game went and the scoreboard was close.
Yeah, that try to Ethan Bullimore was outstanding before half-time. It gave you a lot of momentum leading into half-time. But the big turning point I felt, Siebes, at 22-12 behind, about 28 minutes remaining, Josh Curran, Reid Marnie, they try and stand over Ruben Garrick and DCE, of all people, jumps in and sort of physically manhandles Josh Curran. Did you see that as a bit of a line in the sand moment by Daly as a skipper?
Yeah, definitely. I think, one of the things that we talk about is being all in, and being all in is looking after your teammates, being a good teammate, working together, working for your teammate. And, there was a cheap shot there by one of the Bulldogs players. And then, Ches sort of got himself involved. And, I think it was a bit of a line in the sand, because we're all in here. As I said, the guys played with plenty of spirit. So it was good to see our captain looking after, one of his mates.
Was there part of you, Siebes, with Daly being like third man in, was there a little part of you at one stage thought, we might miss him for 10 minutes here?
A little nervous?
No, not really, because I think it's actually, and he's a decent guy too. I met Josh Curran. He's a good lad.
Yeah.
I think he sort of jumped in there a bit. So maybe Ches was fourth man in, maybe. But look, I got to say, the way that the referees refereed the games across the whole weekend, I thought was fabulous. Because our game, as an example, of high ball and play, some really quality end-to-end footy. Bulldogs were on top for long periods of game, and I just thought the way that Grant Atkins refereed the game was outstanding. That's probably what made the game great for the crowd and the finish that we had as well.
Yeah, well, the stats have certainly shown that the amount of time the ball's been in play, let fewer penalties, fewer errors. It's the standard certainly goes up at finals time, Steve. Now, winning a comp, it's all about your key players staying fit, timing. Obviously, you've got to have a bit of luck. Now, Matt Lodge, he's returned at the perfect time. He really added something different when it comes to playing in the front row on the weekend. How beneficial has it been to have him come back at this time of year?
Yeah, definitely been beneficial getting Big Lodgy back. He's had a challenge the last couple of years with injury. Got his ACL, then he ruptured his bicep not long after he returned early in the year. But he's worked really hard to get himself fit. I think you can sort of see, certainly added some punch to our team, in the last couple of weeks. And he's playing some really good footy at the right time of the year. So he's a good addition for us. And he gives us an extra big man in that middle of the park.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, I'm being a winger, this actually terrifies me, but I love talking about it. Now, it's every front row lover's dream, this matchup this weekend. You got Lodge and Taniela Paseka. They battle up with Jared Warrior-Hargraves and Lindsay Collins. I think that could go a long way to deciding who wins and loses this match. Would you agree, Seibs?
Yeah, definitely. I think, look, there's a real tone to be set by both fullbacks at the start of the game. And I've got to say the Roosters, they beat us 34-30, I don't know, maybe about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And they really set the tone early. They physically got on top of us. We probably did the same to them when we played at Bookie early this year when we won. So, it's 1-1 there. And I think, both fullbacks will be looking forward to setting the tone on Saturday night. But, yeah, that's a great matchup, those four front rows going at each other.
Yeah, I'd be steering well clear of the middle of the field in those first 15 minutes.
Your big jersey, that would have slung you around. Hey, Tommy Trbojevic looked a little bit brittle in the first half with his contact, Seibs. Was it always a plan to? And I'm only guessing here, but I'm thinking he didn't take needles into the first half and got them at half time, and we saw a completely different athlete. Was always the plan? Was it?
Oh, look, he actually did get a needle before the game.
Okay.
But I'm not sure whether it hit the right spot. I don't know. I don't know whether the dog hit the right spot. So, look, he had another one at half time, and he just said after the game he felt so much better in the second half. And you probably saw that the longer the game went, Turbo got more involved, and he came up with a couple of really big plays in that second half. And he probably was a little bit, first half, probably, dipped the toe in there a little bit a couple of times. But, the way that he finished the game gave him a lot of confidence. And certainly at full time, he said that it felt so much better after that second needle at half time. Yeah,
good stuff. Hey, now, a player that I think we've always ridden the wave with him, and he was outstanding on the weekend, Luke Brooks. Now, his first ever finals match, and you've always spoken, Seibs, and we've interviewed you about, first and foremost, I just want to see him happy, enjoying his rugby league, and he seems to have done that this year, but he handled it like he'd been there before. During the week leading up to the game, did you sense any nerves in a guy that's played over 200 first-grade games?
I didn't really. I think, to answer your point, he's a terrific guy. I've said that the last couple of times I've been on, and I just think, it's great to see him achieve something that he's wanted to do for a long time, and that's play finals footy. Now, we felt as though he's been, a real big addition to our team this year, and I thought he played really well on the weekend. It's really, really pleasing. I didn't see any sort of nerves. I probably saw a little bit of nervousness leading into that Tigers game, I've got to say.
Yep.
And I think Brooksy sort of acknowledged that in one of his press conferences. But he was excellent on the weekend, and really pleased that he's played his first final and he's had a win, and we got another great opportunity against a good footy side of the Roosters this week.
What about his role in that last try with the catch and pass? It was outstanding, wasn't it, Seibs?
Yeah, excellent. We do a drill called the funnel drill, which is a little bit chaotic, and it's about making line breaks, and the players get to hit sort of a percentage of their match speed, and so that try really reminded me of the funnel drill that the coaches do with the players, where you've sort of got a sort of 3v2 into a 3v1 or 2v1 situation, and it's a little bit chaotic, and you've got to use your speed and your skill. And I thought the boys did a fantastic job with that on Sunday, and Brooks's pass was world class, I've got to say.
Now, Seibs, obviously do or die, as it has been last weekend, this week. You're coming up against the Roosters, who this year probably have let themselves down a little bit with their discipline. Is it something that you go after? Do you try to bring that out, or do you just worry about your game?
We've got a real focus on our game, Brad. I think we've got a 6-day turnaround. We really try and focus probably 80% of our week on our weapons and how we want to play our footy on both sides of the footy. And so, look, we'll have a small meeting tomorrow on the opposition team, but certainly, we feel like that, they'll bring their best on Saturday night, and we'll bring our best. So it's going to be a hell of a contest again. But yeah, certainly don't talk, too much about them this week.
Well, Siebes, congrats on getting through to week 2, mate. Your team was very courageous, but as you know better than most, the challenge continues. Saturday at Allianz versus the Roosters this week. Go get them, mate.
Good on you guys. Great to chat as always.